Hello everyone. In this video I just want to sort of throw out some ideas on why some people believe in things like the supernatural and why some people do not do it. Um, Now it should be clear that there are different dispositions. What you see with atheists, that a lot of the time they come from a point of view where they used to believe in something that was outside of themselves, and then they began to internalize their own um, difficulties with understanding or admitting that there's something beyond this world. And so thereby they reject the premise that there is something beyond this world. And for the person of faith, they see the world in a different way, because when they look at things, they don't necessarily just think, well, I see this thing and that's the end of it. That just speaks for itself. But I think a lot of times people that are strongest of faith, they see how God is in control, regardless of what might appear to be basic or rudimentary or a surface level understanding of things. And this is something that has been all throughout church history, um, looking at people like Origen and Augustine, and Tertullian, and all these different people, that the way they frame the concepts of Christianity is very much a transcendent nature, that what we see, what we experience, how we live our lives is ultimately shooting towards a thing bigger than ourselves. And for the atheists, they can't really say there's a transcendent thing beyond themselves, because to do so would imply the antithesis of naturalism, I feel like, in some respects. So they, in a way, do not make accessible the idea that there is a transcendent nature about reality that explains certain things about the universe. Whereas a person of faith, like a Christian, will inherently see that there's a purpose behind their life, that there's a purpose behind what they do. And I don't want to straw man the argument of free will, because in some sense that would be their determining factor for why they're a Christian, is because their life matters, because they make choices. But there's a difference between seeing yourself with a purpose and necessarily that entailing that we have free will. But this is, I think, what a lot of people believe, that they think that because I have agency, because I can do things, because my mental capacities are not manipulated by external means, that it's still within my own psyche that I do these things, that this is the very important factor for why my life has meaning. So I'm really talking about three things here. The first thing is that the naturalist does not really adhere to a kind of transcendent nature about things. All it is this is what we have, and on the face of it, all the things that we view, that's all there is to it. There's not a extra influencing, predominantly guiding system behind what happens in this life. Whereas the, say, Armenian would say, well, the person that I would say, instead of saying Armenian, I would say the person that believes in libertarian free will would say, my agency is important, and with that agency, I can choose God or not. Whereas my view is more, there's a kind of overarching guidance to everything, not necessarily limiting that to external things outside of myself, but things from within myself as well. So you think about what it means to believe in the transcendent, that there's a kind of orientation towards the supernatural in some sense, towards the soul, as some would say, towards the spiritual world, and that there are angels and demons and, you know, other weird things that happen in reality that we can't explain rationally. And these are all things that the naturalist or atheist is going to reject because they don't think the evidence for it is warranted. So in this way, we can say science is a poor representation of transcendence. Because with science, you're always looking at trying to disprove things. And if you can't prove things that are of a transcendent nature, then there's no way to confirm them as true, because it's easy to dismiss them, if that makes sense, as a runoff of another cause, if you will. And the person that has, or the person that believes in libertarian free will, is going to say, I am an agent which is causing certain manifestations of things in my own decision making that produce meaning for me. Now that's what I can say in trying to give it a positive light, and why a person might believe they have libertarian free will. But my position is more that, yes, we do will things of our own accord, but this is all according to a divine plan that God foresees, that God directs, that God makes happen, sees to it, as John Piper would say, that God sees to it that you would have what you had for breakfast, if for no other reason than to bless you, because you are able your favorite breakfast or breakfast that you like. So yeah, it really boils down to how we look at the transcendent, how we look at things of almost a more esoteric nature, that things are happening that are without our control, that are divine in some respects, that are otherworldly, you might say. It's just that the way the person with libertarian free will versus the person that, like me, who believes we will things, but it's ultimately God who decides, is that there's an allowance for things to be, in some sense, a mystery, in the way that people might naturally say what a mystery is, which is we don't know for sure what exactly something means or what exactly happened. And that is where I would say, look at your life, look at the choices that you make, look at the ways that maybe, if you believe in libertarian free will, that God has transcended your own choices in life. If you're a sincere Christian, you might see this. So yeah, it all boils down to transcendence and how you see it. Well, guys, that was just a little short explanation on why I think certain people have faith in Christianity and why some people don't. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.